Hi lecturer. So, good morning or good evening or good afternoon to you when you are watching this video. My name is Sa Ting Wade and this is my visual programming's final project. And me and my friend Shi Hao will be presenting about our project together because we did this as a group project, the both of us. Okay, so let's begin. So the poem we have chosen for this project is called The Clock, and it basically refers to a typical morning routine, and the ticking of the clock wakes the speaker from a dream. Their mother is already busy cooking breakfast, but they are still sleepy and fall back asleep. Eventually, the loud ringing clock forces them to get up. They take a refreshing shower and go to school feeling alert and ready to learn, as like the poem as shown beside.
So here's our concept description or artist statement. And our project is based on the poem The Clock by Abdul Samad bin Muhammad said. It shows how a normal morning feels, like when dreaming, you need to working out, getting ready, and also go to school. And we're using the touch designer to create four different scenes, each showing one part of the poem. We use soft color, moving shape, and smooth transition to match the feeling in each moment. And also our goal is to turn the poem into a visual story using generative art.
So here are our references and case study. So this is the one for scene 1, and this for scene 2, scene 3, and scene 4.
So here's our design process and analysis part. So for the scene 1, I start with a circle chart and change the division to 3 from a triangle shape. This triangle acts as a symbolic clock, giving the scene a more abstract and surreal look. And I applied the feedback tones, blur top, and bloom to create a dreamy looping effect. The background used noise top and transformation to simulate drifting particle like fragment for a fading dream. I also add a trough top to distort the center, representing the moment for working out. Lighting and drip were added using camera and light comps, and the color tone was controlled through a ramp and lookup to create a soft purple pink atmosphere.
So over here at scene 2, I used the clock image and decided to make it like twirl and stylized it with edge threshold bloom tops to create a warped dreamlike effect. A feedback loop that adds motion trails, capturing the feeling of time looping and slipping away. Color and texture were also enhanced using noise and lookup tops. I also used the noise sort with point transform above for dynamic particles, which is the background, and a sphere sort for depth, which represents like a galaxy sort of background like space. And then the clock twirls using an LFO chop, symbolizing the endless morning routine.
Okay, so for the scene 3, I input a 3D HUD model to revisit emotion and test it with a box in a 3D scene, both using foam materials with a camera and light for deep and shading. And I also use visual effects from Touch Designer palette such as feedback edge, light tunnel, and 12, along with label and transform to create a soft glowing motion. So ramp and lookup tones add pink and gold tone for a dreamy look. The network combines 3D model and palette effect to create a layered visual result.
So now on to scene 4, which is I used a bus image, which is a bus silhouette from a movie file top to symbolize the journey to school, reflecting the poem's morning routine. And I also use threshold, blur, and displace to apply a distorted dreamlike motion effect. The feedback loop is also added to create trailing effects and evoke memory and transition. There's also a fractal noise grid for the background, which creates like a sort of like the distortion or wireframe movement to enhance the digital surreal feel, which captures the mix of sleepiness and routine. And that's all from me, and thank you.
Okay, so here's my scene 1, and I already separate both of them, and you can see for this part is something like the clock is rotate, and for this part is the effect, the protect. Yeah, and so we cut here first, and okay, so the first one is I add a circle shop, then I change the division to 3, and also change the up height to open art, and after that I add jaw, cam, render, and also the constant, and then I add a constant, then change the name to this one and 100, and add 2 pattern. For this pattern is TZ. Okay, for this second pattern is RZ, and then for the RZ one, second one pattern, and I add a math. Okay, for range I change the negative 1 to 1, and to range I change 0 from to 360, and I add a merge both of them, then add a now to chop reference to this, to here, then I open the instant, and then I chop here. Yeah, so you can see the can move lah, can rotate like this one. Then after that I add a feedback edge, and also look up, then the RAM, change this color, this triangle color. And for this part, actually this one is the 3D model one. So, and then I add a transform, and then I change this one, rotate, then I type the ABS type dot frame, then like can rotate lah. So same things, add a jaw, cam, render, and also I add a light lah, then you can see. Yeah. So also the constant, the change the color, and okay, and then I add a noise, and also the instrument, point transform, and limit, and now, and also noise, label now. Then I put this both are then the now to the jaw. Then you can see the now sound, and also the now 30 RGB. And then I add feedback. No, I add the composite, and then I add feedback level blur. After that I put this composite to feedback lah, so you can see the effect. You can see the effect, and then add a bloom, and composite, curve, and add a now. Yeah, I think here is more than the effect part lah. You can change what you want lah. Okay, so I add a cross to connect both parts, then I add a transform to change the background color to black. Okay. So here's my result final. Yeah, the vortex and the clock, something like the clock. Yeah, it's quite easy. Okay, yeah. So here's my scene 1 and that's all. Thank you.
So now I'll be showing the network and also explaining each part in Touch Designer. So this is a scene 2 that I made, which is the one that the clock twirls. And yeah, this top part over here, this is the background which creates the like the galaxy part, like the particle, like the purple circles that are appearing both in front of the clock and going through the clock. So while that's going on, there's also this part down here which is the clock. I use the image right here, the clock image. I also use transform to resize it, and then use the edge to like trace the clock out of the background, and also use the bloom to make it glow, and use noise to like create the effect first, and then used edge again, and then ramp to change the color, and then over here I inserted a tool from the palette which is right here. This is the tool that I'm using, and then I use LFO to like make it twirl in a loop. I also used math to like and also feedback edge, and this is how the end result looks like for the second scene. Okay, let's go on to the fourth scene.
Okay, so here's my scene 3, and actually I think it looks like very easy lah. So let's get started. And okay, so here is the box from shop, and I add a geo, also cam render, and then I add a line also. So I need this one to become a line, so I add this one, and I change a little bit color also, and the geo I also add the ABS time dot second in rotate, then can like rotate like this one. So and then is the HUD is actually again is 3D model, and add a transform, change a little bit the position also, and the size, and then actor also, same things, they change the size, and also the geo I add the ABS time dot second, you can like rotate like this one and I add the tone material. I just want to change the color, I don't want like become the line like this one. So after render is like something like this one. So after that, here all of them actually is the effect part lah. So just do what I want to do, what I want like the color, the effect become. So here's the feedback, and here's the feedback edge also, and add a label, add a light tunnel, and also the curve, and add a transform to become the change the background color to become the black, and after that add a null. And I think that's all. It's quite easy lah. Something like this. Okay, so I think that's all for my scene 3. Thank you.
So here's the fourth scene. This is the fourth scene, which has a bus silhouette and the effect going on. So this is slightly more complicated. It's two separate networks connected into one, So down here, this is the bus section, which is the movie file in, and then feed the resolution into 720p, and threshold to get the outline of the bus, and then feedback to like create the wireframe of the bus, and then displays to like create the noise and distortion effect for the bus, and also bloom and feedback each, and then ramp to change the colors, and switch to like change the color of the bus constantly. And this is the bus part done, and over here is the background part. So this background part first which is the grid, and then noise, and from there I use like the Joe, and then over here I use for the line material I use vector instead of line or point, and then I also put then after this I put blur to like make like a slightly trailing effect, and also transform to like add the black background right here, and then on the top here this is the LFO and limit to like change the color. So this way the color is consistently changing like the bus below. So, and over here this is the end result with combining both of them together through, over, and into, out. So here's the final result for scene 4. And that's all for me. Thank you.